Hi, everybody. Welcome back. It's Patty again, and we're here now to continue on with our first week's lesson of letting me share a little bit about myself so you know who your instructor is this semester and my background and interests, but also transition to get you to complete your first assignment, and that is to let us get to know you. I am going to ask at the end of this video that you do something very similar. Either create a video of your own and or create a PowerPoint presentation to share things about you. We call them talking points in marketing, and we as marketers are always looking at our organization's strengths because those strengths are going to be the things that we talk about to the markets we want to target and highlight the things that are unique to us, that give us a competitive advantage in this marketplace. And the interview I'm asking you to do or share with us should include those things. So I'd like you to come up with at least 3 talking points or things you want us to know about you that really set you apart, things that are unique and special and different, whether they relate to being a professional in the HTM field and or what personally adds to our industry that's about you. So let me share a little bit about me in that this is now my 3rd year at Grand Valley State University, but it is not my 3rd year in teaching in higher education. I've actually been an educator for 25 years. This is my 25th anniversary in HTM related. I spent 21 years at Central Michigan University as a faculty member there. But I want to kind of back up and tell you a little bit more from the beginning. I was born in the Detroit area, or Detroit actually specifically, was born and raised, and moved out to a little town called Anchorville, Michigan, where I graduated from high school, and then I went to college. So you'll notice here on my slideshow that I actually went to Central Michigan University as an undergraduate, have my master's degree, and then I received my doctorate from Michigan State University. I did that over a course of about 15 years. I like to consider myself a lifelong educator and lifelong learner. It was a really unique way to go through school, and I wouldn't have changed a thing about my path, but it has certainly been a great journey. What happened after I graduated with my undergraduate degree is I went to work for Radisson Hotels and Resorts, and I knew I wanted to work in the resort and hotel industry, and I wanted a big corporation. I wanted the opportunity to travel and move around and grow with a company. And when I went to work for Radisson, and they're a wonderful company, I was working in Minnesota, but what I found working for them is it wasn't exactly what I wanted, and it wasn't exactly the kind of culture I felt I would be in. I had worked in the service industry all through college. I had been a waitress and worked at camps and done a lot of other kinds of jobs related to our industry, so I thought I knew what I was getting into. But what I didn't realize is the importance of company culture and how that plays such an important and critical role in finding a good match, finding the company and organization that kind of matches how you do business and one that you feel you can really be empowered to do your best. I left Radisson to take a job with Marriott, and I'm really glad I did. For me, the Marriott Corporation absolutely kind of matched my culture and style and values, and I feel very fortunate. I worked for great leaders during those early years in my career that I felt like they embodied what the Marriott family felt when they started that company. So Marriott, I worked for outside of Chicago, and then had started as in events and restaurant management, moved up to be an event manager, which was really my goal, but I knew I had to be a restaurant manager first. I needed to do that. Marriott asked me to do that, and then became an event manager and planner. We called them catering managers then, but did that for a few years, and then kept moving up the corporate ladder. I did work for corporate Marriott properties. I did not work for a franchise, which they have so many franchises now that the world feels very different in terms of the number of properties that are run by a corporate Marriott property versus a franchise Marriott. So after a few years in that position, I moved up into another role when at the time Marriott was building the Courtyard by Marriott brand, and we were opening up hotels all over the United States. At the time I worked for them, we had opened 200 hotels around the United States in a short number of years. So I moved from catering and events into sales, into marketing and sales, where I was a director of sales and marketing for 15 hotels around the Midwest. So I had areas like Kansas City and Minneapolis, Toledo. I had a whole bunch of hotels in Detroit, and I had salespeople that worked for me in all of those locations. And my role was to direct the marketing and sales efforts in those hotels to ideally make them successful. It was a dream job. I had no idea being a multi-brand marketer would have been in my career path, nor would have been something I absolutely loved. In those moves with Marriott and my opportunities to open up new hotels and grow the brand, it was an unbelievable learning experience, and wouldn't have traded it for the world. I was at the time, though, as you note on the slide, teaching one class a week for Wayne County Community College. I was living in Detroit at the time, but I was traveling every week to my properties and working with my staffs at different locations. But I did make sure I could teach this one night class, and I really fell in love with training and education in those couple semesters I taught at Wayne County Community College. And it's a story of networking, but I had always stayed in contact with my alma mater at CMU and would go up and present, once a semester about working for Marriott and sharing with students how the career path would work for them, etc. And I called one day to ask the question, how do you get into higher education? Like, if one day I wanted to go from this community college, and even with Marriott, my next move may have been to be a trainer with them, I asked the question of what would I do, or how do I do that? Could you mentor me? Could you tell me something? And in those, strange moments that life changes instantly, the department chair at the time said to me, we just lost a faculty member today. She resigned. Would you be interested? And if you would be, send us your resume today. Honestly, it was a life-changing moment that I've never regretted. In a very fortunate way, interviewed for the position, received it, and I moved to Mount Pleasant, Michigan to take a 70% pay cut and go teach for a living. So not one day have I ever regretted it. This career is a perfect match for my interests and my growth and what I hope is a contribution to the field. I feel very lucky every day that I get to study the very big nature of our field and many different aspects of it. And as a faculty member at a university, we have the unique role of being responsible and accountable for three things. We are actually evaluated as faculty on three things. So I wanted to take a couple minutes to tell you what I'm doing in those three areas and let you know again maybe some of my talking points in terms of what is different about me as a faculty member versus other kinds of faculty members. So my background is I came from the industry. I didn't finish my PhD until I was 35 years old, and that was quite a number of years ago now, but it was a great career path and for me. And I cannot believe all that time has flown by already, and have the great fortune to be at Grand Valley now, working for an amazing institution. I still commute from Mount Pleasant, Michigan to campus in Grand Rapids. I have teenagers who have yet to graduate from high school. I do have one child in college, so I have a new appreciation for all of you. And my other two are wonderful high schoolers, and until that day, I'll continue to commute. And certainly an online class like this makes it the commute really easy. As I mentioned, there's three areas that we are evaluated on as faculty members, and certainly teaching is of top priority at Grand Valley and to me. I have taught over 18 different courses in the 25 years I've been teaching, but I've already taught 5 different courses at Grand Valley in my quick 3 years. Marketing in hospitality and tourism is the class I now teach the most of. It's certainly my professional background. It continues to be my service and consulting background, and a real passion for me. Tied to marketing certainly is the importance of research. So I love also teaching the research course here. I've taught it for a number of years at both schools, and to me, this whole concept that we'll talk about in Chapter 5 this semester of big data is the hottest topic maybe in the field right now, in terms of how data feeds decision making, and it has always fed marketing. So I love those classes together. My background in catering, in convention services, in sailing, in marketing certainly all relate to the classes that I teach. I've also taught our Introduction to Meeting and Events. I teach our Sales and Convention Services class, and I've also, just this last semester, taught the Introduction to Commercial Recreation and Tourism. I am a big believer in service learning and community engagement. This class in particular, it's critical that we, as I mentioned earlier, write real marketing plans. But know that in most every one of my courses, connecting to the industry and using your brilliant minds to move our industry forward is really important to me. I think learning solely in the four walls of a classroom is a disservice to us all, because there is too much to do and too much to learn by not tying our worlds together. So know that in teaching, and some of the pictures here are just places that I've taken students to and learned with them, and taken this theory and learned it in hopefully a practical and real way. So glad to have you certainly with us in this class this semester, but there are two other areas that I'm evaluated on and things that I'm working on constantly. And one is what we call scholarship. And scholarship means that we're conducting research, we're moving the industry forward by learning and studying it, and using that scholarship in our classrooms, using the scholarship to work with the industry. And we must publish and present our findings related to the research that we conduct. So a few of the publications that I've more recently published in include the ones that I've listed here. The type of research I'm working on, if you come into my office, I have 6 research studies that are in various stages of completion. Some of the more recent research relate to quality of work life. It's incredibly important to me that we study and learn how we treat employees, because I see that as a marketing issue. If we don't have satisfied staff members and employees, they are the base of great marketing because they're delivering the quality of the experience. So most of my research interrelates to marketing, because as our first Blackboard Shell announcement page states, marketing is everything. Presenting typically every semester. I'll be on the road somewhere presenting, and this summer is no exception. I'm also having to give a presentation yet this summer, and it's certainly an exciting part of my job, to be perfectly honest. Because I'm required in learning about and studying what our field is doing all the time, it helps us continue to move it forward in a variety of ways. So there are just a few things about that, but it is publish or perish in higher education. We have to do those things to stay current, to stay relevant, to stay real, etc. So the third area that we are reviewed upon is our service to the industry, both internal to the university. So I serve on committees at the department level, at the university level, at the college level, and I also serve the industry. So you probably won't see me not working with someone in the industry every semester. Most recently, we did a large survey research project with the National Cherry Festival last summer, but we've been working on the data and presenting the findings to their board and their staff, and working with them to use the data to make better decisions this whole last year. So that was my most significant as of late, but all of the organizations listed are projects that I've worked on either long-term for many years. Oakland County Parks and Recreation I've worked with for 3 years on and off directly every week. And then smaller projects, Binder Park Zoo, I worked with them on and off for 10 years. The Department of Natural Resources I've worked with, etc. So just know that we're always engaged with the industry. I think that's, again, one of the most fascinating parts of my job because it keeps our worlds connected. Michigan Cares for Tourism is my largest service project right now. You hopefully have heard about it, and I mentioned it right now because we have a cleanup event coming up May 18th and 19th, just a couple weeks away. So I have the great joy of organizing and planning for that event, but I also have the great joy of marketing that event. So I like to feel like I'm studying marketing all the time because I actually have a chance to do it very directly. And Michigan Cares for Tourism, if you're not familiar, is a 100% volunteer partnership with the tourism industry to restore our historic attractions. So we work with many organizations tourism organizations in Michigan to make that happen. Grand Valley State University was the founding member to bring those partners together, including our State Travel Bureau, Pure Michigan or Travel Michigan, the Department of Natural Resources, Tourism Cares, Indian Trails. Most recently, we have another partner in two large partners. An insurance company just gave us $10,000 this last week to fill a trailer with cleaning and restoration supplies. And McCann Detroit, which is an ad agency in Detroit that does the Pure Michigan campaign, purchased a utility trailer for us to go around the state. So I may slip in every once in a while some of the marketing tactics we're doing to again, it's just things I'm doing every day related to marketing and sharing with you the challenges and frustrations. And I had something yesterday that was just fascinating, but we'll continue on and more of that later. The hot marketing idea that I want to share with you, and I'm asking you to do the same in your introduction, is share some things that you think are really creative marketing ideas, and we want to see what everybody comes up with. So I wanted to share two with you, and I'd like you to find something in the last year. And I only need you to bring one, but I brought a couple with me just to kind of highlight what it might be. And one is, as you can see, the Starbucks ad. They've done it a couple times even since this last November, but they pick a date, and they're really smart marketers because they're picking dates that they are slow and they need volume and they want volume, and they take advantage of the whole, philanthropy giving, charitable cause giving related marketing. And yeah, the holidays last year before Thanksgiving, in an odd time, in a slow time, they said share joy, buy one holiday drink, get one to share. And their whole promotion was simple, it's visual, it's vibrant, it caught my eye, it showed me they cared. They weren't using their tactic to be let's ask our customers to give their change and then we'll give that to a charity and call that our charitable act. I find that a cop-out, to be perfectly honest, related to cause and giving marketing. If you're going to do it well. Don't do it like anybody else, and don't do it that doesn't really show the value you place on that. So, for example, they put their money where their mouth is. They did their sharing and giving to their customers, and that was a great value. So visually it's good, it's strong, it's simple, and it hit home. It worked for them, and they continue to do this promotion and communicate it well. The second idea I want to share with you is actually a Land's End example. And I had made a purchase from Land's End and got this email from them afterwards. And I thought it was just a really clever way to get their loyal customers to share it with their people. Again, word of mouth marketing is the most powerful form because it's believable. So if you and I send something to one of our friends and says, hey, you got to look at this, or you have to watch this, or you should buy this, they are more likely going to do that versus my billboard they drive by or the brochure I send them, etc. So with that, they sent an email after this purchase that said, hey, we believe that sharing is caring, and because you were so thoughtful to share us with someone you care about, we'd like to share something with you too. So because I had shared an email with them so they could share it, they said that the friend I shared it with gets $25 off their purchase of $75 or more, and that I will receive a $20 coupon each time the friend makes a purchase. So I now become a salesperson for them, and they've incentivized me to make those purchases. So because if I share more friends with them, I'm going to save more too. So it was a way of getting your loyal customers into your sales force. And again, by them sending a link to people that I know with my name on it, it's more believable marketing communication. So I thought this was awesome and clever, and I hadn't seen anybody do that before. So that was in this last year as well. And then the third I'm going to share with you is actually a video. And this was on YouTube, and you may have seen it because it's been out for a year. It was last holidays. But really clever strategic marketing. And this is from a police force. And it's in Lowell, Michigan, and a police force that actually created a whole campaign around improving the image that police officers have. So kick back and take a look, and I'm going to share with you this quick 3-minute video of really smart marketing. Doing something out of the ordinary, overcoming the objection people have and the image that the police have by being gracious, giving, fun people.
Most of the contact police officers have with the general public is on a traffic stop. And you can find out a lot about that person in that 10 to 15 minute window, whether they're having a good day, a bad day, or a horrible day. And then we got this idea, what if we could change that person's day in real time? What if we could change that person's day right now?
Got all your Christmas shopping done?
No, I haven't even started. Yeah, she wants like Lego friends. I don't know if you ever heard of those.
Oh yeah, my daughter loves Lego Friends. They're great.
Lego what? Friends? Daughter wants Lego friends? Okay.
Go.
We got 3.
Any other kids or just the one?
I got another one. Yeah, I got a son.
What does he want?
He's only 5.
Yeah.
So he has all these things that he wants that are unrealistic.
Like?
I'm not gonna be able to get.
Like what?
Like this electric scooter.
Something like this?
Oh my god. Yeah.
Alrighty, well, you want to open up the back seat of your trunk?
Was I really getting pulled over?
Yeah, you got pulled over. You got illegal tinted windows.
Oh my god, she just put that on her list.
And
We
the
just went through and did the list.
and the high school.
Oh my god.
Pretty
No
awesome.
way. Oh my god, can I hug you? Oh, thank you.
You're
Oh,
welcome.
So am I getting it? I'm not getting a ticket, right?
I can give you one if you want.
No.
Yeah, if you open it right. What? Have you tried those?
No, but
Will those maybe fit?
exactly what I was hoping for when I said that.
This is
What the heck?
insane.
You can have that.
Thank you.
And there's some there for you too, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Oh my god, you're kidding me. Oh, I want to hug you. That is so great. Thank you.
Something your little boy might like?
This just turned my bad day into a good one.
What?
Yeah.
Are you joking?
No, it just fell off the back of a truck. You know, you didn't see the guy in the red sleigh? Sorry, the wrap job isn't perfect, you know. It's a little windy out. Huh? Well, we got radios and sleighs and magic elves and stuff. The Xbox One.
Yeah.
That's what your kids want.
Yeah.
That's the go-to present for your kid.
Yeah, but it's all that they're not gonna have it.
Go. Let's go. Sit back.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh my god. The kid's gonna love this.
How about you?
Huh? I'm looking at maybe a new TV.
We were talking about that for the room for our bedroom because Goofball here knocked our LCD over
Oh yeah?
and it cracked the entire thing.
So you need a new TV, huh?
Yes.
Thank you. Something like this?
Yeah, something's very similar to that.
Alrighty. Well, open up your door, boss.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Merry Christmas. You're welcome. Merry Christmas.
Man, that sure is nice of you. I mean, I've been pulled over by police officers before, and they've always been good to me, but never this good.
So when you think about all of the unique things organizations do, our job right away, week one this semester, is to look at all those great communication pieces in and out of our industry and see what it is they're doing. And our ultimate job by week two is we're going to look at each other's introduction videos that have these hot topics or hot communication ideas, and we're going to try and develop a list actually that suggests what makes them all effective. What are they doing that other people aren't doing, and how do these things stand out to us? So those are quick few examples of some of my recent personal favorites, and now it's your turn. So in our assignment list for week one, your job is to do an introduction video or a PowerPoint introducing yourself as I have, with really 3 talking points. I certainly was probably more lengthy than you need to be, but I had lots to go over, so please humor me with that. But you want to introduce yourself, say where you're from, your emphasis area, any career goals that you have outlined so far, and what year you are in school. Then you want to share with us those 3 talking points. Tell us 3 things that are really enriching about you, again, as I've mentioned before. And then I want you to highlight 1 marketing communication idea from inside or outside our industry, like I have here. So PowerPoint with audio, ideally, and or a video. And you can do that video on your phone, or you can do it any other way. I do not expect you to do a video as I have that has video and PowerPoint. So please know that's not the expectation, but you can frame it in either one of those paths that I shared. So welcome again. So glad you're here. Can't wait to learn more about you. And thanks again for your time, and we'll see you soon.